You are live. Well, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I've got to always put it out like that because I don't know exactly where you are located. I just know that so many of you all watch and follow us all over the world, and I'm so grateful today for that. I was just on a call with a team out of Lorain, Ohio. I want to call them out and praying for them. They've got a very large meeting this evening, this afternoon, and I'm standing in agreement with them that God will bring victory to. That's exactly what I want them. I'm asking God to give them the victory for the request and the desire to grow this and expand this business. And I'm honored to be a partner with that. And that's really what Kingdom Fundraisers and We Pete Inc. and Pastor Willie and Sister Ella. And I want to introduce my son. I'll be bringing him on soon for you all to meet Andre. Then my friend Mark, who is right here with me now. God has given us a team of individuals. Thank God it's Fundraising Friday. Ooh, we need to start saying that in a different way, Brother Martin, so that people know what TGIFF stands for. Thank God it's Fundraising Friday. I'm blessed by that. We used to call it Faith Friday when we began this journey some 4 or 5 years ago. And if you all follow me right, you'll notice that I posted a couple of days ago videos that went all the way back, I believe, to 2021 when Mark and I were doing this back when I lived in Ohio. One of the videos I was dressed because it was cold that day. One of the other videos was shortly after, I believe it was shortly after I had my surgery, and I had just come back on and was talking primarily to the faith-based individuals. And so it was a blessing to be brought back in and to be able to show you all that this is not new to me. I've been doing this now for several years. I taught it at the college level. And my heart is to help you grow your business, to help you fundraise and not just grant write. So many people, and especially back in those so many people was asking me to help them find a grant, and I still get that question: Can you help me find grants? And I want to know, well, what do you want a grant for? Sometimes individuals don't know. They just need some money for their business. And what we Kingdom Fundraisers is we match your vision. We want to take the vision that you have to grow, and we want to match it with funders who what? Who will fund that vision so that you have a consistent cash flow. And we do that a various amount of ways. So we just want to make sure that you guys are telling people to please share this broadcast and leave a comment so that others might be able to benefit from it. The other day, Brother Gary White, a dear friend of mine, a brother from Ohio, he posted on our faith base on our prayer page about the book and took a picture of him with the book and talked about it. And that's the fundraising book. That's my prayer guide. I'm going to talk about in a minute a little bit about our faith-based book that we are just finishing. Brother Mark sent me some pictures of the cover, and it's called The Fundable Leader. We're getting ready to release that for you all for the fundable leader. Do you consider yourself a fundable leader? Well, let me follow these prompts here. Brother Mark is posting on my behalf. So we want you to subscribe. Now, we want to make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Watch this. We're getting ready to really launch the YouTube channel. Some of that's going to be live. Well, I'm live on YouTube right now. Hello. So it's recorded. You want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Why? So that you can get these videos and go back and watch. So get ready. We're getting ready to launch specifically this as a YouTube channel. I thank God for Mark and the way he works with us. We want to also make sure that if you have any questions, then direct questions for me on how to build your business. You can contact me. You can go to my calendar right here, schedule that 30-minute meeting with me to begin, and we can take off from there. All right. We Pete Inc. is our official website. On We Pete Inc., you can go to our bookstore, right? You can go to the bookstore, and there are several materials there. My Teach Us How to Pray book is there. My what is it? My original book, Forgive Me Taxes and Tax It's Your Money. It's there. There are some guides to help you fundraise. They are there. There are some free gifts for you right on the webpage in our bookstore. There's some things that are costly, but they're small, but they'll help you on your journey. So please don't forget to go to the We Pete Inc. bookstore, right? Go there, get the material you need. You have questions, go back to the beginning of the web page, and you can hit that discovery, and then you can we can connect. That's all to it. We can connect. Amen. So let's get into let's get into today's message. Sometimes I get anxious and my words just bumble up, but I want to really get into today's message. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. For some of you all, it may already be close to tomorrow. Sunday is March the 1st. And for me, we want to end the month by talking about how to launch into March. That March is exactly what it is. It's a way to march into momentum. And that helps us from planning into production. Example again, the Foundation Millennium Group, we just literally got off the phone with it 11:45. That group, we're moving from momentum. We've been planning how to get our funding and how to get our ducks in a row. And my goal, I sent them today our plan to march into success. So March is a momentum month. It helps us go from planning to production. That's what we want to do with you all, and we want to help you do that. So we're stepping into March. It's not just a maintenance month. We've done enough maintenance already. It's a movement month. Are y'all with me? It's a month that we're planning to make sure that you get your vision off paper onto the pavement. And I often say that to people because I'm trying to get new business, not so much for me, but if you have a vision, if you've written your plan, you jotted down some notes, and you know God has given you a vision, how do you go from to success, right? How do you do that? And so if something is moving, if something hasn't moved by now, it needs some structure. We need to give you a way to get that done, right? If something hasn't grown by now, it needs strategy, right? And so if something hasn't been funded by now, it needs alignment. That's what March is here to do. March is where vision enters acceleration or it stalls. And we're not stalling. I'm not going to let you stall. I'm not going to let you stall. Should I say that again? I'm not going to let you stall. Why? Because March is where vision enters acceleration, right? Or it stalls. You're going to get one or the other. Which one are you? Which one do you want? And we're not stalling. I don't intend to let you stall. That's not my goal. So let's look at things that we can do in March. Hold on. Let me look at some things. Let me move some things around so I can help you make sure we're moving into March. Here's some things. March is an execution month. Here we want to help you execute, right? We want to do program launch. If you have a vision, it's time to launch that program. Summer's coming. If you got a youth group, you want to have a plan for your youth. Now is the time to do that. Grant drafts get written. I talked to, again, Foundation Millennium or the Millennium Group earlier. We're telling them here are the locations that we can find funding that already match your vision. That's the same thing you ought to be doing. You ought to be drafting what you put into your narrative. I've given you some tools in the past that you can use now to be able to put together the package for the grants that you want to write. You don't have to wait on a grant to be given for you to already have a plan on what you're going to put in there. Donor meetings, you need to get scheduled. If you have people out there, you want to help them fund your vision. For example, I'm using Foundation Millennium today because we just had this meeting, and that's exactly what they're doing at 1:00. They're meeting with a donor. Why? So that donor can fund the vision. And then You want to pursue partnerships. You want to go after people, right? That's going to help you do these things that you want to do. Program launch. You want to draft these grants that you want to go after. You want donor meetings. You want to get them scheduled. Now is the time. March is momentum month. You want to do that, and you want to pursue partnerships. You want to get these people lined up. You want to get on the phone starting Monday. You don't want to wait. Start today if you have some time for the rest of it. Write it out. Remember, write the vision, make it plain, so the they that read it can run with it. So my goal for you is to make sure you're writing down these things that I'm giving you. Why? So that you can make sure that you can accomplish them and get them done. Momentum does not come from thinking about it. It comes from moving. We gotta move into this thing, right? So let me ask, what did you say you were going to do in January that still hasn't been done? What did you say you were going to do in January that still hasn't been done? And if you haven't done it, you're stalling instead of accelerating. Did that make sense? Huh? So let's audit your structure. Let's take a look at your structure. Take a look at how you're doing things so that you can get moving. Because watch this, momentum without structure burns you out. You can get out there and you can be doing and you can be doing, but that's not going to work. So let me ask you 4 quick questions. And Mark, post them questions for me after the number 2. Is your donation link working? Wow. Hmm? Is your donation link working? Watch, here it is right here. Do you have a clear monthly giving option? Do you know your revenue target for the month of March? And do you have a follow-up system? These are very important for the month of March to help you move forward throughout the year. I told you, I always want to give you something that you can put your hands on and do. I don't want to just get on here and talk. I do a lot of talking anyway. But my goal is to give you tools and ask you questions to get you moving, to get your vision off paper. Okay. Is your donation link working? Do you have a clear monthly giving option? Do you know your revenue target? How much do you need? And do you have a follow-up system? Once you call somebody, what do you do to get it done? Let me tell you, those 4 steps, if you follow them throughout the month of March, you'll go a long way. I promise you. You'll go a long way. Why? Because you're making the vision plain. You're writing it out. You're stepping into it. And listen to me, y'all. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody and take a note. I had someone call me earlier today, and it was really someone trying to offer me a new form of insurance. And I told him, me and my wife have talked about our insurance plan. We're doing our trust plan. We're setting our lives up for the future, and then my generations after me, what's going to be left to them. We're doing that. The gentleman called me and said, well, you have made an application online, and I'm following up on that. Now, first of all, I didn't apply for any insurance online, so that was just one of the spam calls. But I took it because I'm looking. I have some new people I'm working with, so I wasn't sure that was the number. And he said to me what he was doing, and I told him I'm fine. My wife was we're actually talking about it. I'm fine. So he kept talking. I said, look, man, I gotta go. So I went on and hung up. He called right back. And he went at it again. He said, well, just let me finish my conversation with you so that I can, give. I said, I don't need to have a conversation. Why? Because I already know what I'm doing. And I went on and hung up again. Would you believe he called me one more time? And I told him, now you're threatening me. You're harassing me. Leave me alone. My point is, he kept following up to the point that I had to say no in a serious way. In this case, because it was back to back. Don't be afraid to take a no. He was not afraid to take a no. He figured he could change my mind. Know that. Know that there are people who you need to call, you need to connect with. Why? Because they have dollars for you. And you have to be real enough to tell them what it is you're doing. I hope that that scenario was helpful to you because that was true. That's exactly what he did with me. So you want to your assignment, your structure turns your passion into income. He had a passion that he wanted to sell some insurance. He, Obviously, he was passionate about it. Now I don't know if he was a scammer or whatever, but he just kept trying. And after my third one, he did quit because I said to him, "Take me off your call list." I don't want that to happen to you. You don't have to bug anybody, but you do want to be bold enough, brave enough, proud of your vision enough to pick up the phone and make the ask. One of the lessons, you can go to our YouTube channel and find that we had a conversation about the ask. I'm gonna remember to do that again and talk just about the ask, the offer. I was trained by one of the other coaches about making an offer. In this case, I want to talk about how to make it. It's very, very important. How do you make an ask and be bold about it so that people will be willing to give you? So pick one of these funding focuses for the month of March. Pick one of these here. One grant submission, one donor campaign, one sponsorship push, or one program launch. That's something that we want to help you do for the month of March. Pick one that you know that you can work on, that you can bowl about, that you seek donors from, that you can get people that you'll be willing to try to get somebody to help you do. Pick one of these, right? One grant submission, one donor campaign, one sponsorship push, one program launch. Why? Because alignment, structure, income, impact leaves your legacy. You want to do these things, right? So take the ideas that I'm giving you, take these tools that I'm sharing with you today, these call to actions, these my to-do list. Because if you focus produces a flow. So now let's try something else. Start thinking this now. Mark, let me ask this other set of questions for you. Mark, don't post this one. Did we build recurring income? Think about that. And then when we get done, we want to say, did we build recurring income for the month of March? We want to end March saying, did we increase visibility? We want to end March saying, did we strengthen our donor base? Huh? We want to use March as our correction month, and we want to make sure we're getting what we need to do that. So, Mark, you can post our March to-do list if you don't mind. We want to give everybody a to-do list for the month of March to help everybody get where they're gonna go. That's a good idea to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna pass this one. Give me the to-do list, man, and let's see what we got. Mark is my brother. He keeps me in line right here when it comes uh, to what you all need. There he is. He's quick, ain't he? To-do list. Week 1 for the month of March. Set a clear March revenue goal. Say how much money you want, right? Choose one funding focus. I'm gonna fund this program. I'm gonna raise money for this child's school summer program. I'm gonna raise money to do this. This is my funding focus, right? And then review your donation system and your monthly giving setup. Figure out what my month looks like. You have to plan it now because March starts on Sunday, right? Second week in the March, here's where we're gonna go in the second week. And we're going to talk about this more next week, too. Submit at least one grant and funding proposal. So that's why the first week is important, because if you do these things, set a clear March revenue goal, choose one funding focus, review your donation system and monthly. If you do that, then this one will flow. You'll be able to submit one grant, your funding proposal. You'll be able to get a donor and partner conversations because you already did the homework. And then you want to post one impact update. You want to be able to share on your social media page. Here's what we got done. Look what we're doing. Look how it's working, all right? Then you are moving, I'm sorry, I didn't do week 3. Then you'll launch a clear. And we're going to talk about these each week, y'all. I'm giving them to you now. But each week we're going to talk about, here's what we're starting next week, Monday, March 2nd. Then the following week, March 9th, you want to begin to do week 2. After the following week of March 9th, you want to go into launching one clear ask campaign. Mark, remind me to talk about the ask. Give everybody some tools and some ways that they can make that. Just plan that. And then follow up with 10 warm contacts. People that you know that you have a relationship that will at least hear your story. Hear the impact. You don't want to just go begging. You want to ask them to invest into specific business. Let me say that again. When you make contact with the individuals that understand you, know you, and are willing to give you time, you want to make sure that you're making the ask, but you want to share the impact. Not just, you don't want to just ask for the sake of asking. You have a vision. That's why we go back to writing the vision. That's why we go back to number 1, planning your ask, right? Following up with those contacts. Then you, at the end of March, we'll begin to do what? Evaluate the progress. Then you'll be able to send recap emails to everybody. Here's what we did. You know, you can thank the supporters for them, even publicly. You know, you want to let people know what you do, and then we'll get ready to plan for April. Sounds like a lot. It is a lot. We wrote it. It's on the screen for you to review. It's there for you to go through, and we want you to do that. So we want to make sure that you deal with March in the way that March is coming. All right. So March is revenue planning sheet. We have some things, some tools for you. You have to DM me. I'll give you the revenue planning sheet, a 30-day funding tracker, or a donor follow-up script. I'm not giving it. I'm not just going to post that. You have to call me, write me, send me an email, text me, DM me, and I'll send that to you directly. Will you do that? And if you DM me the word March, that's all you have to do. DM me, write me, text me, call me, say, hey, March. And you'll receive March's revenue planning sheet, a 30-day funding tracker, and donor follow-up script. We have some tools that help you do the things that we just given you what to do, all right? So that's what I got for you for the month of March. March is not for dreaming. March is for doing, y'all. You don't need more ideas. You need a movement, y'all. It's the month that separates planners from producers. So your assignment, you have structure, you have income, so you have impact that equals all legacy. So let's march into success, y'all. Let's make March happen. Can we do that? Let's make March happen. Thanks for joining me. DM me the word March. And guess what? We'll make sure you get blessed. Let me remind you that anyway. DM the word March to receive the revenue planning sheet, 30-day funding tracker, and donor follow-up sheet. You DM me, you get these gifts. I love you. I thank God for you. Thanks for joining me for another day of Kingdom Fundraisers. I'm Pastor Willie, your host, and I look forward to seeing you. Oh, by the way, I can't leave without telling you. We're working now to launch the YouTube channel. So we'll have a specific. I used to do radio years ago, WZLE radio, the radio host years ago. That's why some of this becomes easy. And as you know, I make a to-do list. I make a list for every week. And I'm not the most perfect person. You know, I go on and I see some people, you know, they're all scripted and they're it's laid out. That ain't me. I'm hoping to get there. But I just have tools that's going to help you. And I come on every week to really help your system at your job that God gave you, your vision. And just come on so I can help you. So get ready for that. Pray for us about that, the YouTube channel. And to help you, we're looking to launch our next book. We're looking to put that out there and to get that into your hand. And it's called the Leader Funder, the Funding Leader. How did I say it that way? It is the Funding Leader. We want you to make sure you get that in the book, The Funding Leader. We're going to have conversation about foundations of a healthy nonprofit, mission, vision, and core values, leadership roles and organizational structure, governance and board governance and board. There we go. Governance and board of directors, legal foundations and compliance. We have information like that. We want to make sure you get it, that you can have, that we can make sure your vision is clear and you can find funding. So get ready for that as we get ready to launch these things for you. Stay tuned. It's coming. God bless you. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you this time next week. I love you. See you soon.